All right, on today's lesson, we are going to do a lesson on the volume of cones and how they relate to cylinders. Okay, so how do we find the volume of cones? First, let's break down what a cone is. A cone has a circle base that tapers to a triangle. The height connects the center of the circular base to the top. Okay, so then to find the area of a circle, we're going to use the same formula we did for cylinders, which is pi times r squared. Okay, so once again, volume, remember VBH is still the formula using here, but the difference is it's 1/3 of the normal volume. So as you can see, it starts here and it tapers to the top to make this triangle that they're talking about. Just remember this 1/3 is what we're going to use, and that'll probably be our last step. Okay, so we have volume for V, B for area of the base, and height for height of the cone. Okay, so think about this. A cone only has one base, so we would shade this in to know that that's my base, and then the height is not the slanted part, but the part that goes from the top straight up and down, like a triangle where it makes a right angle. So I'm going to draw an arrow in there, but height is that line that's going straight up and down. Okay. Um, so from there, we are going to find how to do this. So to find the volume of a cone, we're going to multiply 1/3 times the area of the base, which this is an interesting way to say this. So 1/3 times the area of the base, okay, and then times the height of the cone. So same concept, except now there's a 1/3 involved. So we're going to use our calculator because fractions and decimals are going to make things a little bit more complicated to do mentally. So we're going to use this to help us out as a tool. So we look at the first one. One, we have h is 10. Okay. We have, because it's the from the base to the top, so that's our height. We know that our base is in the circle. So it gives us a radius of 2.5. So we're going to say r equals 2.5 centimeters, h equals 10 centimeters. Okay, we know that v equals 1/3 bh. So we're going to rewrite this with the numbers that we know. We know that b equals pi r squared. If we plug everything in, we can do our terms of pi first, but for this example, we'll just do all the numbers plugged in. So v would be equal to 1/3 times 2.5 squared times 10. Okay, we multiply all that out, we get our solution. So in our calculator, we're going to do control divide. So 1/3. We're going to say times 2.5 squared times 10. Push enter, and then we end up getting a volume of 20.83. And it's to the nearest hundredth that we're rounding to. So we'll call this cubic centimeters. Okay. All right. So the concept here, once again, once we identify where our base, our radius, our height are, we can plug them into the formula. My answer is not correct either, especially if you watch me do this on the thing. I am missing something very important here. This would be the correct answer if it was in terms of pi. Okay, so be mindful to always double check because you can easily make mistakes. I just realized that. So this would be terms of pi. So the final solution, which I'll write on the side over here because I've ran out of room, I need to write 20.83 times 3.14, and this will be my correct answer. So V in this case is, we're going to definitely do a couple more examples here to make sure that we have this under control. 65.40 or 41, but I wrote 0, so it's okay for this one. Especially since I ran out of room. So let's do one more, and we'll make this quite a bit neater. So, and my apologies for making a mistake on there. So bear with me. If that one didn't make sense, hopefully this one will be much more clear. We gave us a diameter of 7, so D equals 7. So that means R equals 3.5. Okay. H is 12, so this is my H. So H is 12. We're going to use the same formula again. V equals 1/3 BH, and it should be a capital B, right? So if I plug all those numbers in, we'll have V is equal to 1/3 times 3.5 squared times 12 times pi. And this would be our solution once we multiply it all out. So let's go ahead and go through that again. We have 1/3 times 3.5 squared times 12. We push enter. It's going to give us V equals 49 pi. So this is our answer in terms of pi. So cubic feet like that. And then when we multiply that all out, our final answer becomes 49 times 3.14. That's 153. So V equals 153.86 feet cubed. Okay. So terms of pi on the left, final answer on the right. So once again, the only difference between multiplying cylinders and cones is not forgetting this 1/3 here. Okay. So oftentimes they'll ask us terms of pi and then find our final answer. So let's go ahead and look at number 4. Just go through a couple of these just so we make sure we understand what's going on. And remember, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. Remember to like, share, comment, follow, subscribe, all of that for more content. Okay. So number 4, let's find the volume in terms of pi. Note on cylinders, we had been doing terms of pi. So in cones, it's the same concept. Remember, we're multiplying everything except pi. So in this case, they gave us R, which R is 3.1. We have 9, which is our height. I wrote the letters out and not in order, but it's okay. So this is height. This is my base. This is R. So we plug everything into our formula, which is V equals 1/3 BH, which if we're doing circles, V is equal to 1/3 pi R squared H. Okay, from there we just plug our numbers in and multiply everything except for pi. Okay, so V is equal to 1/3 3.1 squared times 9, and then we put pi at the end. Okay, so when we multiply all that together, we're going to end up getting, let's see, control divide, 1/3 3.1 squared times 9. So that gives us 28.83 cubic inches, but I forgot the pi. There we go, put pi in there. Cubic inches. Okay, so 28.83 pi inches cubed, or cubic inches. For here, they don't want the final solution. They just want it into terms of pi. Remember, terms of pi gives us the most exact answer because pi is irrational. So depending on the number of digits you use, your answer is always going to be a little bit different. Okay, so terms of pi, I'm not going to do another example on that because that's straightforward. I'd rather go through questions with word problems because they're a little bit more challenging. So let's do 1 or 2 of these, and then hopefully that helps you have a better understanding of the volume of cones and how to find them. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Number 6, it says a paper water cup is shaped like a cone. It has a height of 5 inches, so H is 5, and a diameter, I'm going to underline these key terms, and a diameter of 3.5 inches. What is the volume of the cone to the nearest hundredth? So V equals question mark. Okay. If you needed to draw a picture, remember you can draw your little circle like this. We know it goes straight across. So D is 5 all the way across. We know that the height goes down like that. And if I drew a thing right there, this would be, I wrote the wrong number. So this is 5 and this is 3.5. My apologies. So the diameter is 3.5 going across, and the height, which this is this, and this is D, it should look like this, okay? So if I multiply all this out, which first, what is the formula? See, remember, even as teachers, we rush ahead too, so take your time. V equals 1/3 base time, or area of base times height, okay? So from there, we replace B with 1/3 pi r squared times h, and then we substitute our numbers. This is a r, this is a d, so we need to find r by dividing 3.5 divided by 2. So 3.5 divided by 2 is 1.75. So r is 1.75. So now if I plug all my numbers in, that is V is equal to 1/3 times 1.75 squared times 5, and pi is at the end. The reason why is because we're going to do our terms of pi first and then get our final answer. So let's go ahead and multiply all that out. We have 1/3, and this will be the last problem on this video, and then we'll continue on to the next one. 1 divided by 3, okay. Well, let's do it a different way. Control divide. 1/3 times 1.75 squared times 5. Push enter. We're going to put this in front of pi, so V is equal to 5.10 pi, and that's in inches cubed. Okay, our final answer is going to be when we multiply all of it out. So 5.10 times 3.14, and that's going to give us 16.01 inches cubed. So both of these answers are correct. One's in terms of pi. The other one is your final answer. Okay, so in this video, we covered what is a cone. Remember, a cone is a three-dimensional object with one base that tapers up to like a triangle. The height is in the middle, not on the slanted side. It's in the middle, going from the base to the top. And then the formula is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So it's very similar to the cylinder, except it would take the volume of 3 cones to equal 1 cylinder. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. Remember, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please post them. Send me a message. I'll try to reply to you best I can. But be on the lookout for the next portion of this, which will be more application word problems. And then we'll go from there. Until next time.